Hi, in this screencast, we're going to create a standard petition. Standard petitions are useful if you want to, let's say, collect signatures for an actual petition that maybe you want to print out the signatures and drop it on the desk of your legislator. Another purpose that you could use standard petitions for is if you want to get folks to sign that they support a particular campaign or ongoing effort that you may have. In this case today, for our scenario, I'm going to create a standard petition where I want to get folks to sign so that I know that they support a particular campaign, and our campaign is called Capitalism is Collapsing. So that's how I'm going to use the petition today, the standard petition. So there's a couple of things you're going to want to consider. One is you may want to create a campaign, particularly if, let's say, you have multiple petitions. You want to be able to identify that a particular petition activity or petition signing activity belongs to that particular effort or campaign. So in this case, I decided to create a campaign. If I go to campaigns dashboard, I created a campaign called Capitalism is Collapsing, just so you can see it there. And that's what I'm going to associate this petition with. The other piece is that you do need to create a contact profile. And that is a group of fields of contact information that you want to collect. So at the very least, you do need the email address. That you must have. But in this case, I want full name. I want first name, last name, so I can address them. I want to collect as much information as possible. So again, you can add address information if you like. My profile, if you take a look at here, the administer, custom data and screens, and profiles. I created a few of them, but here's the petition email contact info basic. It's a very basic profile that I created. If I look at the fields, you can see that first name, last name, and email are required. I do ask for other address information, but I'm only going to require state and zip. And I'm going to see if they'll give me a phone number. It's not required. One thing you need to note is that the email field must be set to where its location is primary. This is required for this particular feature. So that you must do. Everything else I decided to use, like if I go to city, I decided to use from the web as the location type because I want to be able to decipher that this is information that came through some form or profile. Also, if this person or contact existed in the database, and let's say I had a home address that I know was good, I don't want it to be overwritten. If I placed home and here's a location type, I don't want to be overwritten by, let's say, folks could, actually mistype their address. So I'm going to use from the web. So I have my contact profile. Now I'm ready to go. I'm basically ready to go, and I'm going to start setting up my petition. I'm going to go to campaign, new petition. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to call it Capitalism is Collapsing. And so that's the title they see. I'm going to put some information in here. Yep, it's falling apart. And then maybe there's more information. Please sign. Know you support this campaign, right? So you can keep putting more information there. I'm going to go in here. No, you can also add pictures. You can make things look nice by formatting. Under campaign, I'm going to use my Capitalism is Collapsing. Under the contact profile, I'm going to make sure I'm selecting the correct one, which is the basic. And in this case, since this is a standard petition, we don't need a petition email activity profile. We'll discuss that in a separate screencast around petition emails. So I got my contact info profile. I'm going to set information for the thank you landing page is what they will see after they sign the petition. Say thank you. And I'll just write thank you for signing. All right, whatever you want to put in here is your piece. This information here, this bypass email confirmation, something to take note of. If you do not check this box, PowerBase will send them an email to verify it's them. So folks will get an email first. Let's say they send a petition, but they'll get a message saying, check your email. They'll have to check their email, click, there's a little button there that says verify. There'll be a link to verify before the petition actually goes through with the signature, with their signature. So some folks like to do that. But for me, since I'm doing this, this is really just, I want to know if you support this campaign and I want to get their information, I'm going to bypass this. I'm not going to send that verification. I just want them to sign it. No hoops to jump over. And since it's active, this is the only first petition I put in, it's going to already mark it as default. If you have other ones, you just decide if it's a default petition or not. And that's all you need to do. That's it for standard petition. So again, you just need your title, some information about the petition so they know what they're signing up for. Again, this is optional. You can add the campaign that this is associated with. You must have that contact profile. That is the one that is required. Enter information for your landing page, for your thank you page. I decided to bypass. And that's it. Now I'm going to hit save. So now my petition's created. You can see it's here. You can get to this petition page, to see what your existing petitions are by just going to campaigns and just click on dashboard and click on petitions, and you'll come right back to this page that we're looking at, the petitions tab. Now we're ready to send it off to sign, to get it signed. You may want to throw it out there and, social media, whatever works for you. You can always email things too. In this case, I'm going to get folks to sign it by just sending it out. You can see if you click on the three dots, you have the option, this is the sign, and this gives you the link to the petition page. So I'm going to copy this link. I'm just going to right click and copy this link. And to test this, I don't want to be logged into the database. I want to see what it looks like to folks who don't have a PowerBase login. So I'm going to open up another browser, a private window where I am not logged in to the database, and I'm going to copy that link, and this is again the link that you send around, and you can see this is now the page, right? And there it is, capitalism collapsing. So I'm going to just test by putting in some information, and I'm going to put down here, who cares, and create my email. And I'm not going to enter the street address or city since it's not required. It did default to the proper state. I'm going to say it's North Carolina, and I'm going to put my zip code. And that's it. And I am now going to sign the petition. So I'm going to click sign. And there's my thank you page, my thank you landing page. So I'm good to go. So now I'm going to go back to the database. You may want to refresh depending how it all works here. And now I want to check. I'm going to go to campaigns again, dashboard petitions, just to show you. You can actually get to that page. I'm going to see who's signing. So to figure out who's signing, you go back to next to your petition. You go to those three dots. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on signatures. And now I'm going to be able to see who is signing up, and there is someone who cares. So it creates that, and great. You can start to see who is signing the petition by going there. Note that you can do more with these folks, right? You have options to print things, do a mail merge, do all sorts of things. Let's take a look at the record and see what happens in the database. I'm going to open up someone who cares record, and you can see that it added their email, the address that I did. You can see the source comes in as petition, signature, capitalism is collapsing. Again, this first time they've entered the database. What's good to note here is the activity. What happens here is that when someone signs a petition, they get an activity type of petition signature. And that's how you can find it. And if I view this, you can see that the capitalism is collapsing is part of this activity. So I can search for everybody who has a petition signature activity with the campaign capitalism. And that is how standard petitions work in PowerBase.